Hey, what's up? It's GC Kinsey, here to show y'all how I do the makeup for my All Might cosplay Small Might Edition. A while back, I made a tutorial showing how I styled the wig for my All Might cosplay, or as I also like to call him, my Old Bay, which came about when my friend asked me if I liked Old Bay, meaning the seasoning, but I heard it as Old Bay like fine older men, so naturally I had to turn that unhinged idea into an All Might cosplay. I created an All Might themed custom t-shirt design based on the classic Old Bay label, and the rest was history. So now that I've shown y'all how to style the wig, I thought it would be a good idea to show y'all how to do the makeup too, so here we go. I'm starting with some 16-hour Camo Concealer from e.l.f. Cosmetics and using it to cover my acne before I actually lay down my base makeup, because one of the fun perks of testosterone is that every time I grow a new beard hair, it starts out as a pimple. Once that's done, I'm going in with a Mehron CreamBlend stick for my foundation, loading just a little bit onto a triangle sponge, and then laying it onto the skin with a stippling motion. I like to start with the natural highlight areas and then work my way outward from there. And once I have a decent base coat in place, I go back over everything one more time just to make sure I didn't miss any spots. So there we have our base foundation, and now I'm going to set that with some mineral matte finishing powder from Nyx. I'm using a large fluffy blush brush and just gently tapping it all over my face. Now it's time to contour, which I'll be doing with an eyeshadow singles palette from Ulta Beauty. This is a nice rich shade of brown called Coffee Bean, and I'm using that instead of an actual contour powder because in his true form, All Might has a very gaunt face with extreme cheekbones, so I really want to make this contour dramatic. Once I finish blocking out the basic shape with my contour brush, I am going to load up a softer blush brush with a light mix of these two shades from the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette and use that to start blending out those cheeks. And further carving out the shape of the cheekbone down my jaw toward the corner of my mouth. Then repeating that on the other side, and sort of going back and forth until they're both even. After that, I'm using a little bit of the cream foundation that's left on my triangle sponge to highlight the edges of my jaw, which helps them stand out and makes the cheek contour pop even more. So there's the finished cheek and jaw contour and highlight, and now it's time to contour the rest of my face. I'm using the same softer blush brush, still with the same combo of shades from that contour palette, and using it to contour my forehead into more of a square shape. Add some shadow underneath my jawline. And for this part, I do pick up more of that eyeshadow as well to make it nice and deep and dramatic. And when I'm done with that, I blend it further with some of that setting powder on my bigger blush brush. Now it's time to do the eyes, and I'm going in first with some Nye Creme Color in black, and using a triangle sponge to just lightly dab it in the eye socket area underneath the brow. I'm trying to keep this to a charcoal gray color with a kind of messy, mottled, almost smoky texture rather than a solid black. And I'm blocking out a basic shape that goes all the way underneath the eye, onto the side of the nose, and outward toward the ear a little bit. And once I'm satisfied with it, I'm going to set it with this shade of black from a Maybelline Expert Wear Eyeshadow Quad. So I'm just stippling that in place over the cream color with a small applicator brush, which is not only going to lock that cream color in place, but also help give it even more of that smoky texture I was going for. To add some depth, I'm loading that brush with a mix of these shades from the same eyeshadow quad and applying it underneath the eye, like dark circles for a grizzled old hero. Then I'm blending it in with more of the black eyeshadow until I'm satisfied with the overall look. So now that the first eye is done, I'm going to repeat all of that on the other side. And it's important to note that I'm not going for perfect symmetry. I'll give y'all the same advice here that drag artists always give about doing their eyebrows, which is sisters, not twins. Or perhaps brothers, not twins, siblings, not twins. You can gender your eyebrows and your other eye makeup however you like, but the point is, they don't have to look identical, they just have to look related. And that's especially true with an intentionally messy makeup design like the eyes I'm doing for this look. Once I get close to the end, I'm going back and forth just a little bit to make sure I'm happy with both eyes. And now the eye makeup is done. Next it's time for some detail work with a black eye pencil from NYX. I'm coming in and drawing some little age lines right where the brows come together at the bridge of the nose. Then blending those out with some more of the black eyeshadow I used earlier on a detail brush. I'm going back and forth until I'm satisfied. And then sealing in all that black with just a little bit of setting powder. Next, I'm putting some of the concealer from earlier on my lips, which is going to help them look a little bit more dry and therefore read more old. So I'm just dabbing that in with my fingertip to blend it, and then sealing it with some more setting powder on the blush brush. I'm also running one last layer of that same setting powder over everything, and now the makeup is done. Except for one more step that I tried but failed to catch on camera, which was going over my waterlines with a white eye pencil from NYX and my brows and lashes with some black Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. But that step really is kind of optional, the makeup looks basically the same with or without it. So here's the final makeup, and here it is with the costume and wig. If you have any questions or thoughts about my process, please feel free to share those in the comments. And if you use this tutorial to help you with your own Small Mite makeup look, I would love to see photos. Same goes for the wig tutorial, which is linked in the cards and the description on this video. I've also got a whole playlist of other cosplay tutorials I've done, along with lots of other cool stuff on this channel like cosplay music videos, vlogs about my experiences as a queer person, resources for singers about voice changes on testosterone, and more. So make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss anything new. Shout out to all you old bays out there, and special thanks to my favorite little old bay, Victor, who sat on my lap and kept me company while I was filming and editing this video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.